When was the last time you climbed a tree? It's been a long time for me. I'm kind of old now, so I'm cheating a little bit. This tree's not really very far off the ground, but whatever, it counts. I used to climb trees all the time when I was a kid. I was actually really good at it because I was really small and I didn't weigh very much, so I could like step on the smaller branches and go up higher than everybody else. I almost never fell. Except for that one time in junior high when I fell on the playground right in front of Sarah Connor, who I had a massive crush on, of course. But yeah, as you get older, you climb a lot fewer trees, which is a shame really, because trees are awesome. There's so much more to trees than we think there are. You know, what you see above the ground, that's really only half the tree. If you flip the mirror image of a tree upside down, that's basically what the root system is. Trees have two whole different sides of themselves with two completely different ecosystems. You know, above ground you got your ants, your bugs, your birds making a home there, and then below ground you got grubs and worms and bacteria and fungi. And trees are like the bridge between the atmosphere and the earth, funneling nutrients down from the sky and channeling it down into the ground. When you get really close up on a leaf, you can see tiny holes, or stoma. This is where it takes in carbon dioxide and nitrogen, releases oxygen for us little humans to breathe. So let's talk about CO2 for a second. A comment that I get in my videos quite a bit is that CO2 is plant food, and that the more CO2 in the air is better for plants. This is both true and not true. CO2 is plant food the same way that bread is human food. You know, yeah, you can eat it and you get nutrients off of it, but if it's all you ate, it wouldn't be good for you. In fact, you can guarantee a case of scurvy. So if you increase CO2 in a plant without increasing those other nutrients as well, same kind of deal. It's not really that good for it. But yes, plants do use CO2 in photosynthesis, but not all CO2 is created equal. That's because carbon comes in a variety of isotopes, just like all the other elements. Isotopes are basically different numbers of neutrons in the atom. So carbon has 6 protons in it, so carbon-12 and carbon-13 are the most stable isotopes because they match the same number of neutrons to protons, basically. Carbon-14 might sound familiar to you because we use that in carbon dating, because a carbon-14 atom has a half-life of 5,730 years. So the carbon that's floating around in the air in the form of carbon dioxide, it's almost entirely carbon-12 and carbon-13, mostly carbon-12. In trees, in algae and plants and grass and all the photosynthetic, plants out there, they all prefer carbon-12 because it's a lighter form of carbon. And when those same trees, plants, and algae die, they get sequestered under the ground and they take all that carbon-12 with them. Now, over a lot of time, pressure, and temperature, these dead plants eventually get turned into coal and oil, fossil fuels. Fossil fuels that are loaded with carbon-12. So as carbon dioxide levels have risen over the last couple of hundred years, there's some people that make the argument that it's not human-made, that it's natural processes that are causing this. That basically, we humans are too puny to have that kind of effect on the world. But if this uptick in CO2 was caused by us burning fossil fuels, that means that we will be putting a lot of carbon-12 into the atmosphere, which means that the ratio of carbon-12 to carbon-13 would change, carbon-13 going down and carbon-12 going up. And that's exactly what scientists have found. As our rate of CO2 has gone up, the ratio of carbon-13 has plummeted. So according to a lot of scientists, this is the smoking gun that proves that the level of CO2 rise in our atmosphere is being caused by us and our burning of million-year-old dead plants. So yes, while we definitely need to be transitioning to newer, cleaner, more renewable sources of energy, one of the best things that we can do is to just basically complete that cycle and put that carbon back in the trees where they came from. Which kind of brings me to the point of this video. I'm doing this video as a collaboration with literally hundreds of other YouTubers as part of Team Trees, and our goal is to plant 20 million trees by the year 2020. And yes, I know that's only 2 months away. 2 months away, 2020, 20 million. There's a lot of twos in this video. Now I know you're probably asking yourself, Joe, I don't know where to find a tree. I don't know what the right place to plant a tree is. I don't have a front yard to plant a tree in, or I don't know, I live in Antarctica and trees don't grow here. All good excuses. Especially the last one. Luckily, Team Trees has partnered up with the Arbor Day Foundation, who have offered to plant a tree for every single dollar donated to teamtrees.org. I donated myself. It's really simple to do, and every dollar counts, and my gimbal is not working. I've donated myself. It's really simple to do, and every dollar counts. You can go to teamtrees.org, and you can donate there, or there should be a button right over here or maybe below on the video where you can click and it makes it super easy. Now it needs to be said that nobody here thinks that planting 20 million trees is going to fix climate change, okay? This is not the answer, but it is part of the answer. Planting a tree is simply the easiest and cheapest way to make a difference. Now yes, it's a very small difference, but there's 7 billion of us on the planet and all that can add up. So one last time, go to teamtrees.org to make a donation or just hit the little donation button somewhere around here and be a part of something super awesome. Mother Earth will thank you.